everybody. I hope you are having a fabulous day. Thank you for joining us on this edition of Loving the Skin. I'm in. Of course, I am Demetra K. And we have the infamous Donovan Sadiq, who likes to throw rocks and hide his hand.
That's right. I'm throwing them.
So we actually have a few things to talk about today. But I'll go ahead and let Donovan go ahead and give his disclaimer.
All right, we got these videos. You guys know we put up a lot of videos, and unfortunately, there are some black women out there trying to shut me and Tommy Sotomayor down. So I'm going to say any video that you say that you guys see behind us or in the video, it is for fair use and commentary purposes.
Okay, so now that we've gotten the housekeeping out of the way, for time's sake, we'll go ahead and get right into it. So if you guys have been following the news, and I don't really follow the news a lot, so I'm kind of abreast of what's going on. You will see that the Trump. See, I'm getting ready to blame Obama because that's what everybody's used to doing.
That's right.
The Trump administration just rescinded the DACA act, I guess you could say. And I'll go ahead and get into that.
It's an executive order.
I'm sorry, yes, you're right, an executive order. And I'll go ahead and get into that, just in case you don't know exactly what that is. And so basically the question that we're ultimately going to ask and try to discuss is, to what degree should black people involve ourselves in the plight of other people? And then we'll get more into that in just a second. But I want to go ahead and give you some facts. All right, so the DACA, D-A-C-A, it means Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals is an American immigration policy founded by the Obama administration in June of 2012. DACA allows certain illegal immigrants who entered the country as minors to receive a renewable 2-year period of deferred action from deportation and eligibility for a work permit. All right, I think that was pretty self-explanatory. Now, DACA gave about 800,000 undocumented youth who arrived in the U.S. as children a 2-year renewable work permit and shielded them from deportation. The program was implemented, as I said, by the Obama administration as in 2012. So I'm kind of repeat myself a little bit. Now, the important thing along with this is Congress refused to enact what they call the DREAM Act, which is Development Relief and Education for Alien Minors Act. Now, what that does is the first step is to give them temporary conditional residency. And then once they meet certain qualifications, then they can get permanent residency. So Congress is like, no, we're not good with that. We don't want that. We're not going to sign off on it. So Obama said, okay, screw you. What I'm going to do is take this big black magical pen and I'm going to sign it into order. So I just went through all of that. All right. So now moving forward on yesterday, which is Tuesday, September 5th, the Trump administration, by way of Jeff Sessions. Now, it's important to know that it's kind of, I guess,
Jeff Klanman Sessions.
Yes, how apropos that they had Jeff Sessions go out there and deliver the news. Now, anybody who's familiar with Jeff Sessions knows that he's this big-time racist out of Alabama. He was a senator, and he just anti-everything civil rights, and they're very unapologetic about it. So I imagine he probably got a little bit of a hard-on when he had to get out there.
Did you see him smiling?
I didn't see it, but I just can imagine, got out there and delivered this news, So anyway.
You niggers, I mean.
Right. So he announced that it will end. The aforementioned DACA will end. It was in 2018 in March, so next year. Now, Trump said this. He said, we will resolve the DACA issue with heart and compassion, but through the lawful democratic process, while at the same time ensuring that any immigration reform we adopt provides enduring benefits for the American citizens. Okay, I just want to stop right there. What he want to make sure that whiteness is intact and whiteness is not compromised. Let's be honest. American citizens my ass, because if he cared about all American citizens, he would not have done a lot of the stuff that he's done. There's one thing like the whole Meal on Wheels thing, we're taking that away. So I just wanted to kind of throw that in there, like read between the lines.
Real quick, during the campaign, didn't Mr. Trump say that if you're on DACA, you have nothing to worry about?
Yeah, but he said a whole lot of stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. And the sad thing is, everything that he has basically promised has never come into fruition.
Yeah, but people who support him, which why I don't understand. People who support him will agree that being a liar is a good thing.
Do you know that 15% of the people who are on DACA voted for him?
And that's what they get. And I'm not trying to be mean, but that's what you get. I mean, you drank the Kool-Aid and now you're surprised that it's going to kill you.
Oh my God, do something for us. Oh my God, I didn't think he was going to do that. He said, a politician lying? They're lying.
Horror.
Well, they're lying when they're moving their lips.
Right. And so, I mean, why would you drink the Kool-Aid and then you're surprised that it doesn't taste good?
Good question.
It's a good question. Okay, so I'm almost done here. Mm-hmm. All right, so he also goes along to say, so he said that he wants to make sure that American citizens, they're protected because they're the ones. Just be honest. Let's just break it down. He said the American citizens that elected them. Mm-hmm. Well, what did David Duke say? Don't forget who put you here.
In office. That's right.
Right. So that's who he's talking about. Right. So he says we must also have heart and compassion for unemployed, struggling, and forgotten Americans. And I like to say, bull caca. You ain't, come on, man. Stop. So then, all right, here we go. We all know that what he is saying, and this whole DACA, rescinding thing, is to preserve whiteness. We know that's exactly what it is. Yeah, it's to preserve whiteness. Come on now. Back in the day, not too long ago, used to be, in regards to population, it was white people, black people, Mexicans. Mm-hmm. Now it's white people and Mexicans, or Hispanic, I should say. Okay? Now, if you are white and you see that the Hispanic population is like
taking over,
what are you going to do? You're going to be cool with, a man lying to you and say, we're going to build a wall. Oh, no, we're going to get Mexico to pay for the wall. And then Mexico say, yeah, right, good luck with that. We ain't paying for no wall. Mm-hmm. In fact, the ex-president, Vicente Fox, was like, F you.
Yeah.
And I'm being nice, but he said F you. Okay, so now people who voted for him like, well, that's okay. Now we're going to get stuck with the bill. Mm-hmm. But we want the wall to go. And, the cat is just like, I'm here.
Misty
is here. Hispanics are like, we're here. Yeah. So we know that bill, him rescinding the bill is to preserve whiteness. Let's be honest, because you figure, let's do the math. You said 800,000 undocumented people back. That's almost 1 million people.
Back to where?
Wherever they came from. Back from America, away from America.
But if I've been here since I was 1 year old and this is the only country I know.
They don't care.
Am I a citizen of Mexico? Can I prove that?
Right, but Trump doesn't care about that.
Oh, we know that.
Listen, once we drop you off at the border, that's your problem.
See, I really don't believe that's going to happen, because all these people are going to do is go back into the shadows, because we have over 11 million undocumented people here now, and it's just unfeasible to send these people back.
Will it ever happen? Probably not. Just the fact that this is being expressed, which we're not shocked. And
I'm going to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
And another reason is, if they really wanted to stop illegal immigration, why aren't you penalizing these businesses that are hiring illegal immigrants to work?
Right. Well, because it's still benefiting them. Just
absolutely. So it'll never stop.
Just like immigrants back in in slavery, before slavery, they didn't like us, but we were benefiting them.
Right.
But, for us coming over here, And so we know that the whole rescinding of the DACA Act is basically some bull caca, and it's really to preserve whiteness, as I said. All right. And so me and you kind of talked about this before we got on. About just look at all the people who are agreeing with this. And there's a lot of black politicians or ex-politicians who are upset, pissed off, and all this other stuff. And one of them being President Obama. And I make no apologies or lie about it. I voted for Obama twice. But this came about under his administration, and yesterday he put out this long thing that I admit I did not read. Mm-hmm. But it sounds like, from what everybody was telling me, he was pissed off and saying that it was mean and all this other stuff. And
well, do you think he's pissed off because he really thinks that it's mean, or is it the fact that Mr. Trump is removing all of his accomplishments?
I think it's a little of both. I think it's a little of both. However, where was all of this black outrage? And I'm not saying there wasn't any from black politicians, but where was all this black outrage when, black men are being murdered? Like, Obama made a statement, but he tiptoed around it. He didn't want to offend white people. He kind of was like, if I had a black son, I'd be concerned too. But, he just didn't come out with the 1-2 punch and say, you know what, goddammit, we're tired of injustice. We need this, wholesale murder of black people by police officers to stop. He didn't do any of that. He kind of was just like, you guys, like a lot of, people who watch this show want me to do. They want me to
be apologetic
and not offend them because they're white. But as I always say, me saying what I have to say has nothing to do with you being white.
Like I say about my man Tommy Sotomayor, for those people that don't like Tommy Sotomayor, start your own show and then do your own narrative.
Right, but again, like I don't get on here and talk bad about white people. I'm telling the truth, and I'm trying to educate myself for one thing, and then uplift and educate black people. But unlike me, that's fine. Mama, I made it. Okay, so so like Obama, he's tiptoeing around it. He doesn't want to offend anybody. So we have a lot of black politicians like that. And trust me, I'm getting to our main topic here.
But go ahead.
Oh, okay. And so Dr. Claude Anderson, which I do listen to quite a bit, he is a true soldier for black people. He has been since the 1960s or so. He's been around a long time trying to empower black people by way of giving us education and knowledge about economics and just unity and all of that kind of stuff. And so he says that black politicians are worse than the white politicians.
Wait, let me give you a cheer on that one. Yes.
And this is what he said. He says they are worse than white politicians for a few reasons. Okay. Black politicians serve everyone but their own.
Thank you. Wait. Locally, that would be Denise Fleming.
Well, she's not really a politician yet.
Because she hasn't been elected or nothing. But go ahead.
But they do. They serve everybody but their own, because, again, they don't want to, the white people who may be mad or say, oh, gosh, you're being racist. First of all.
Cheryl Brown.
Right. Well, first of all, black people can't be racist because in order for us to be racist, we have to have the power to control a group of people economically, physically, mentally, spiritually, in every way, shape, or form. We do not have that power. Okay. So we cannot be racist. So get that out of your vocabulary. All right. And the other thing is it says there is no connection between more politicians and black progress. So he's saying, people are under the false ideology that if the more black politicians we have out there speaking for us and working on our behalf, quote unquote, then the more progress we'll make, the more things we'll get. But we know that's not true.
That's not true.
It's not true at all. In fact, it's gotten worse. So he also says 3 things that black politicians who are elected cannot do. One of them is they can't talk about black issues.
Right.
Let's take Obama, for example. He'll tiptoe to it, but he's not going to really just say what it is. Trayvon Martin was murdered in cold blood. Tamir Rice was murdered in cold blood. Eric Garner was murdered in cold blood. The Black Panthers, who are political prisoners, are that. They're political prisoners of a corrupt FBI system. He's not going to say any of that kind of stuff. Matter of fact, he ain't going to talk about it at all. So they can't talk about black issues.
Gotcha.
Okay. The other thing is they can't talk about groupism. So group economics, unity. They can't do that. They can't say, black people, I know that we have a $1.3 trillion, enough to make the 11th largest, wealthiest country in the world. Let's stop spending our money. Let's stop giving 97% of the way to everybody else. Let's keep it. They can't talk about that. They can't say that we are better together. There's unity, power in unity. They can't say that.
Gotcha.
The last thing is they talk about holding white people accountable. So Obama can't get up there and say, you know what? Yes, while you white people in today's day and age did not directly have anything to do with slavery, you are still benefiting from it. Therefore, that's why I'm writing this, just like I made the executive order for DACA. I'm making an executive order to give all my peoples, yes, I said my peoples, 40 acres and a Tesla. Because I can always say, I don't want no mule. Give me my Tesla.
Okay.
And so he can't say that. He can't say that to white people. If you don't like it, too bad. My people didn't like coming over here on those slave ships either. So they can't do those things. Okay. So what they do is they get up there and tell black people, before they get there, oh yes, sister so and so. Oh yes, Shirley, we're gonna get up there. We're gonna do all these things for you. Misty is like, I'm getting in the action.
No,
okay,
she wants to get in the conversation,
right? Which I ain't mad at her.
She is a mixed.
The wheel that squeaks gets the oil. So you got to take yours. So so before they're running for office, they're promising you everything under the sun. Oh yes, I'm gonna get up there. I'm
gonna fight.
I'm gonna tell these white folks that what it is my people needs, and then they get up there and then they say, "Oh, I'm not the as Dr. Claude Anderson says, I'm not the president of black people. I'm the president of everybody." Or I'm not the city council person of black people. I'm the city council of everybody.
Or Kamala Harris.
Right, which is another one who, is just, it's like we elect these people and we don't hold them accountable.
Well, no, you got to understand, Kamala Harris is on a meteoric rise in the political system because, number one, she is of African and Indian descent.
Well, they've also likened her to Obama.
Right, and this woman has no legislative accomplishments, but they're going to make sure she has one she's going to back and help write the new ACA law, and notice how she's getting on the bandwagon of this DACA.
Oh, yeah.
Now, she was the Attorney General here in California. All the shootings and stuff that's going through brutality, all this bad air and pollution. She went down to Myra Loma and and I don't even know what happened to that lawsuit down there. But, the press was there. She takes her little press, then she runs for senator, and now she's this big wheel in Washington.
Oh, yeah. But what has she done for black people?
Not a damn thing.
You know what she'll probably say? I'm not the senator for black people. Right. I'm the senator for California. All right, but can black people, because I'm sure there's a lot of you got there because a lot of black people, matter of fact, I would guarantee, and I don't do statistics, but I would guarantee you that if not one black person voted for her, she would not be the senator. Right. She didn't get any black votes, so black people put her there.
Well, honestly, a lot of people, when you vote, depending on something as big as California, the black vote is the deciding vote. The tipping vote of which way it's going to go.
Well, it usually is, even for the national election, whether we vote or we don't vote, right?
Where the tipping...
And so, for years, black people have been giving their votes, and now within the last, 50, 60, maybe 50 years or so, we've been giving it to the Democrats. We have been, voting overwhelmingly Democrats, but then we have to ask ourselves.
Democrat. Jeff Sessions was a Democrat.
What have Democrats done for black people?
Not a damn thing.
Right. I mean, and Republicans didn't do a whole lot with either.
Here's what they've done. Let me take that back. Here's what Democrats have done for black people.
Okay.
They put your black ass on welfare for the next 500 years, which is a system to appease you.
That's a form of racism.
It's a form of slavery.
Yeah.
They did that for you. They give you food stamps. They feed you. They house you. Uncle Sugar. We're talking about Uncle Sugar again.
Yeah, all right,
Uncle Sugar. And guess what? You kick the father out of the home under those stipulations that the black women just walk right into. I'm a strong, independent black woman. Are you?
No, that's kind of an oxymoron.
It is. It
okay.
Really is.
Which brings us to really the question here. When was it? Right, the weekend after Trump got elected, but women all over the planet in solidarity marched against him, and to the fact they said it was the largest protest ever. Okay,
right? Not according to Sean Spicer.
Well,
ever. Period.
Okay,
gotcha.
All right. So, but who was right there with him? Black people. Black women. But let me get this: where was all those white women when Trayvon's murderer got away with
Absolutely not.
And all these other people, where were they?
Where was Hillary?
Where were these women when the woman got choked in the beauty salon by the Asian dude and his wife? Where were those women?
Where were the mothers of the movement?
Where were any
what movement?
But I'm just saying. But where were these white women who started this march?
That ain't gonna happen.
When black people were having their issues,
that's not gonna happen. We are a political football. That is not gonna happen.
Right. Okay. So then. And that just brings us to DACA. Okay. Listen, and I want to go on record saying this. I don't want nobody to twist my words. Do I think that, and this is what probably me and you would disagree, maybe, I don't know. Do I think that that 800,000 youth should potentially have to go home? No, I don't think that. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's right at all. That because we know that it has nothing to do with, America. We know that it has to do with preserving whiteness. It's plain and simple. I think Ray Charles can see that, and he's blind and ain't even here no more.
Let me cut you off real quick right there. Okay. The Republicans and the quote white folks, whoever they think they are. Do you know there's a lot of these racial people doing these DNA kits and they're finding out that they're not really white.
Are they having heart attacks too?
They're having heart attacks.
I know the hell they are. I mean,
dropping down, finding they've got black and Jewish blood.
You
and
got
Mexican
a history
blood.
degree. You got a history degree, and we know who the original man and woman of the planet is.
Right, but these people who claim to be white are finding out they are not white.
I mean, you white, but you're not all white.
Yeah,
you came from black people.
Exactly, and you rape black people, so that is in your genetics.
Yeah, I mean, right.
So, on this DACA thing, they talk about how we're a nation of laws and all this stuff. So they got to go back to their nation now. I believe they should be given some kind of status as any, because these people are in limbo. They are technically in limbo. They did they're children.
Right.
They came here as children. Now, I'm going to go on record and say this. At 18 years old, knowing that you were in a certain status, especially when you're trying to apply for your FAFSA grants and you find out you ain't got a Social Security card, and now you're in your 40s, why haven't you, as an individual, you can't blame your parents at that point, taken any steps to get citizenship in that time for those type of people? So I'm not saying they still don't deserve it, but I'm saying that's a question I'm going to put out there because that's unacceptable. You can't blame your parents for when you're grown for what you could have done for yourself. If you had to join the military to get your citizenship since you love this country so much, and there's a lot of people in the military that did that. My sister-in-law did that. You do what you got to do, get your citizenship.
Right.
There's a way to do it. But talk about the rule of law. Joe Arpaio, who is a known racist, broke the law according to that judge because he was racially profiling somebody.
And his homeboy pardoned him.
And Trump, like you said, pardoned him. However, this guy broke the law. So why not let Arpaio just go to jail like everybody else?
Well, see, what we got to understand is we should be able to, but we can never compare ourselves to white people and the standards that they have, because when they break the laws, oh gosh, these opioids are taking over and all. They're just not the white people's fault that they're getting high. Okay. And it's crack.
Right.
You're gonna take your black ass to jail.
But when we're talking about law, here's a guy who is sworn to defend and uphold the law.
White people, not all white people, but a lot of white people. I mean, there's a lot of white people who defend Trump. They don't think that's a problem. See, when white people break the law, it's not a big deal. Oh, they didn't.
Well, they're good kids. We'll just put them on probation.
Right. But when black people do it, it's like, watch out now. They should go.
Oh yeah, no, I know they're guilty. Even though DNA's exonerated them, I'm going to take out a full page ad in the New York Times, and his birth certificate, he can't live here. You'll be surprised at what I find. Right.
Exactly.
Never provided any
But
proof.
to me, and I think this makes a lot of sense, and it's not something I'm coming up with, it's a fact. I think white people are the last people to try to get on the pedestal and tell somebody who don't belong here. Wasn't it just Los Angeles that passed a bill that's saying no longer is it going to be called Columbus Day, it's going to be called Indigenous People Day. So people are starting to wake up like, no, white people, y'all stole this from everybody. Right. Regardless of who was here first, you weren't here first.
And do you want to know why Kamala Harris is getting on this DACA thing?
Why?
She isn't doing it because she has a bleeding heart and she's a bleeding heart liberal. She's not doing it because she actually cares about it. California has the biggest number of DACA people. And so it's a political thing for her.
Okay, now check this out. So, to your point of people jumping on the bandwagon and all this other stuff. So, I was listening to NPR the other day, and it was saying that the Cal State system, so the colleges and universities in Cal State are like, listen, even if this does pass, we are not going to allow federal agents to come onto our campuses and just, round people up.
What are you going to
do? They said they're not going to grant them permission. This is what they said.
What are you going to do? The federal government trumps state law when it comes to federal.
I agree, but I'm just telling you what I heard on NPR.
Sure.
I'm not
it's all
saying
rhetoric and talk. With all that's going on against black people, what do black politicians and most politicians do? Mark Takano being one of them. Every time there's a tragedy, and they think that they pander, or they'll send out a Twitter tweet. Our hearts go out to the victims of what, and to them that is enough. That's all they have to do is acknowledge.
Okay, so let's move along to this. Let's get to it now.
Get to it.
Now, none of these people, I've heard none of these people go to the degree and extents and measures that they have, or lengths I should say, and measures that they have, like they are for the DACA for black people. who have been through everything you can imagine, and even from slavery till now, we are still going through things. And you didn't see people. I like to use the word caping when you put on the Superman cape. You didn't see none of these people caping for black folks at all. So my question is, to what degree should black people involve ourselves in the plight of other people? Example, the people who are affected by DACA.
Okay.
Now, I'm sure there are some probably very small percentage of black people, when I say black people, Haitians, Africans, or whatever, are probably affected by this to a small degree. But we know that if they see a Haitian boat out on the water, they say, turn that shit around. You're not getting on this land.
Black Cuban, turn
that shit around.
Light-skinned Cuban, oh, come on in.
Right. So to what degree should we involve ourselves in that? Because I saw, and I was kind of disappointed with this, I saw that Sean King, which I really do love, I still love him, he put up a Twitter by some guy, I can't remember who it was, but he basically said, and I'm paraphrasing, black people are stupid if we don't disagree with the DACA ruling. We are stupid because this is a way for white people to preserve their whiteness. So we're stupid. So I do agree that we obviously should see what's really going on here. But are we stupid? Or are we like, should we be more or less like, listen, black people got their own fish to fry. Right now, black people are at the bottom of everything in society. The last thing we need to do is keep getting distracted, right, Steve? Distracted by everybody else's problem. And I'm not saying it's a distraction to be disrespectful, because listen, I got friends, personally good friends, who will be affected by this if it does end in March of 2018. So I'm not unsympathetic to what's going on, but I think it's unfair to keep expecting black people to jump on everybody else's bandwagon, i.e., feminism. Okay. That's partially why the black woman and the black man aren't together, because before feminism in the 1960s, black people operated as a unit. But when the white woman was like, look, black girl, we need you to come over here, that was a numbers game. It had shit to do with them caring about us. And so now that's partially why we got the schism, in addition to the stuff you said as far as welfare and all that.
You want me to answer that question?
Please.
No.
You're mean. You should be helping them. They're brown people like you. How dare you?
I have to first help myself before I can help anybody. You can't go out...
First law of nature.
...and worry about your neighbor's house when your house is not in order itself.
But see, that's the problem, and I wholeheartedly agree with you. And I know that you also probably know people who would be affected by that to some degree, too. So that doesn't
make
us...
Right on the corner over here.
Right, so it doesn't make us heartless. Let's keep it real.
I am in Edgemont. Almost all of my neighbors in the real house of Edgemont.
So let's keep it real. You know, but we, like you said, we need to put ourselves first. And the black community is always expected to jump on everybody else, issues.
We are the economic engine
of the country.
And we're right
out there with them. We're right out there with them. Yes, you go women, because we think that they're in solidarity with us, but they are not. To your point, because you like to bring up the women of the movement, which was Trayvon Martin and all the murdered. I like to stress that boys by the police,
the mothers of the Weevil Queens.
Nah, but where were these white women with them?
You would be a damn fool.
But they had their black asses out there with all the white women.
You would be a damn fool to think that these white women are going to support you in your issues. And I'll give you even a national example. Your girl Corrine Brown. Out there for
Leave
Hillary.
Our queen alone.
Out there stumping for Hillary all day, all night. Oh, go Gator.
Well, they
all that other stuff, right?
All of them.
No, but I'm just saying in particular. Her,
right.
Cheryl Lee, and all these other people.
Right.
The bitch gets 290 something
Watch
years.
Out now, you're gonna get shanked up.
I'm not in Jacksonville. When I get back to Jacksonville, the bitch gets 200 and something. I mean, okay, basically, I better not say bitch.
Yeah, because
the dishonorable congresswoman. That's a better term.
I like that.
The dishonorable congresswoman got indicted on 19 of 22 counts. Where was Hillary as a character reference?
She lost the hot sauce in her bag, and so she was looking for it. She was looking for the hot sauce, and so by the time she found the hot sauce, it's like, shit, she got convicted. I'm sorry, I was trying to be there for you.
And that's my point.
Right.
We go out and we do all what Massa wants us to do. We do all this stuff, and then when it's for, hey, I need you to come and speak. Oh no, I got an appointment. I'm golfing.
Right. So there you have it. Again, we're expected to be on everybody else's bandwagon, but ain't nobody else on our bandwagon at all. Nobody. On all of the stuff. So, and then we're considered bad people. And Dr. Claude Anderson talks about it a lot, how with civil rights, whatever that means, because what does that mean actually? Whatever it was,
I don't give a damn about civil rights when I rather deal with economic rights.
Right, exactly. And so he says with civil rights, they lump, and these are his words, humpbacks, midgets, lesbians, everybody else along with it. It was back in the day when gay people were going through their stuff. I can't remember which law it was.
Wait. The black struggle isn't antiquated to homosexuality?
Well, that's... What did they say? Gay is the new black or something like that? Because
you got these punk ass, gay and black and gay. It's the same thing.
Well, yeah, they're trying to marry the two together, saying that we got the same issues. However,
no, we don't.
I mean, for the most part, you choose to be gay. I didn't choose to be black.
Right. Black, I can't take this off. I can't cover.
Right.
I couldn't tell you if you're gay unless you told me you were.
Or women's rights. That's also lumped together with the rights of black people.
Come on now.
I mean, it's just saying.
Yes.
But it's true.
I got you.
So everybody's stuff is lumped together with ours. And so we're just like, all right, as soon as we get through marching with you going to help us? Because, we want the police officers to stop pulling us over. Michael Bennett, my daughter sent me a thing. I'm out of the loop a lot. So she sent me a thing with Michael Bennett, the football player who's taking a knee, was in Vegas during the fight, and somebody was shooting or something. And the police officer kind of maybe thought it was him, and they brutalized him for the most part.
Right.
And so it's like, now y'all, because we want to take a knee against the injustice that black people go through. This is a black man minding his business. And they did did him pretty dirty.
I'm going to say something again, and we talked about it earlier. Patriotism should not be mandated. It should be earned by the government. So if the government is not acting right, you do. As a matter of fact, I believe everybody has a duty not to stand for the national anthem.
Well, didn't they say, too, that the NFL was charging the military at one point in time to come?
Get money, and that's what all that's about, getting an influx of money from the government.
So y'all love the military and stuff so much you was charging them to come do the national anthem, or not that, whatever the colors or whatever they was doing.
Well, yeah, you get some kind of kickback, government tax breaks. This is what it is. There's the ruling party and everybody else, okay? So that's what it comes down to. But patriotism should not be mandated, period.
Right. Yeah, so to the question, I mean, should we? No, I don't think we should. I think should is the wrong damn word to use.
Well, how about this?
Should we sympathize? Yes.
Of course, and pray.
Should we focus on our own stuff? Hell yes.
I'm going to say this. Let's talk about white people. Should I be focused on their
problems?
Hold
on. You want to do that now?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Be careful.
Yeah, I absolutely do. I think white people are doing okay. You deal with your issues, I'll deal with my issues. Mexicans, I sympathize with you. You deal with your issues, I'll deal with my issues. White people will say this all the time when it comes about the money that they've stolen and the labor that they've stolen.
Right.
You niggas need to pick yourself up by the bootstraps.
Right.
Well, you need to do the goddamn same thing. So just like you're saying, I'm going to take your advice. I'm going to pick myself up by my own bootstraps and don't worry about what I'm doing.
Preach. Hallelujah.
And that's what it comes down to. So don't sit there and tell me one thing that, oh, well, you should be helping me, and at the same time you're telling me, get up, nigga, let me walk on your back. That ain't good enough.
Well,
get on your knees.
And to your point, the one thing white people will never admit to is that they are the author and originator, I guess the same thing, of systemic and institutional racism.
Absolutely.
To where they have built systems to keep black people down. That is a proven fact. It is written within laws in some parts of the Constitution where it's like black people can't have shit.
Actually, if you do your history, in the early 1900s, Woodrow Wilson, after he lost the election, the Republican government at that time took over, and there was a eugenics thing that was written, and it's actually in the books. If you look it up, it wasn't the Nazis that originated that; it was the United States.
Absolutely, it was the uber rich, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, all of them,
and all these people owned politicians to enact these things. And what had happened, I believe it was 1924. Don't quote me, but around 1924, they actually shut the door. And there was a statement in the Congressional Record where a senator, I forgot his name, he had said, by shutting the door, America probably is the only to preserve the white Anglo-Saxon Protestant race. It's going to be the last bastion of white Anglo-Saxon Protestant because they didn't want Mexicans here, Chinese. They said no more. We're not bringing nobody else in here.
Which is, since we were already here, we need to annihilate them as much as possible.
Like they
get
did
rid
the
of
Indians.
them. Right. So yeah, I mean, so we agree.
So we agree on that,
right?
And people don't want to hear that. And I know you want to. You get indoctrinated by. I'm proud to be an American. At least I know I'm free. Are you free?
They are. We're not.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. They pump that into now. You know I'm a military man. I've been military all my life, but I'm not stupid.
Right.
I'm not stupid. They used me. I used them.
Right.
I gotta get mine. You remember that song by Tupac and MC? I gotta get mine. You gotta get yours. I gotta get mine. You gotta get yours.
Right, but you know when black people, and I'm speaking about black people because that's what the show is about, loving the skin I'm in. I forgot to say that. Where we do our best to promote blackness and understanding of blackness, and something about and educate ourselves along with others. So, but it was never designed for us,
right? And
to get ours.
And people don't understand that. You've got to understand. You're not just because you're in this country doesn't make you an American,
right?
You have to enjoy the fruits of America, and we haven't done that.
Right.
We've only enjoyed the thorns. And I heard you. I know you know what speech I'm talking about right now.
Yes, I do.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, and so of course, you'll hear a lot of times, and you probably hear this a lot, where white people say, well, slavery is over.
Get over it, niggas.
Get over it. Well, how about you get over it and hand over some of that money that you benefited from my people bending over, picking that cotton from 6 days a week, sun up to sundown. How about you hand over that? How about since slavery is over, you stop benefiting from our people? Well, if that's how you really feel.
Well, then it goes right back into what we're talking about. You have congressmen and presidents. You've got President Bush right now. President Bush, Trump, same person. Yeah. What he's trying to do? Here's a so-called. He's not a billionaire. We already know that. Rich man. Talking about we need to lower our taxes. We need to lower the taxes. It's egregious, these taxes. Look at the infrastructure around the country. Because these rich people are not paying their fair share of taxes, you want to lower the taxes again?
Right.
Now, my example with that is he's doing something for his people. The congressmen that are all behind this are for their donors.
They're all benefiting.
Right. Or they're part of the tool that have to do what you got to do. Well, now, Obama was in there. I'm not an Obama basher. I'm just telling you the facts. I think executive orders should be done away with. The only executive orders that the president has power to deal with is in the military because he's the commander-in-chief. As a regular civilian, executive orders should not be used by either party. This DACA thing, I'm going to get to the legal ramifications of that. The reason why, and he took a bold step, but he took a bold step for brown people.
Yeah.
DACA is totally illegal because the president does not make the law. It has to go to the Congress, which is what they're pushing it to do right now.
Right.
But my biggest problem is if you're going to make a bold step like that and break the Constitution and overstep your bounds as president for Hispanic people, why the fuck didn't you do it for your own people?
Hey, I don't even have an answer for that.
Really?
You want to go back to what Dr. Claude Anderson was saying, the things that black politicians can't do. They help everybody but their own.
There you go.
They can't talk about black issues.
See, but here's the thing, though. You don't help your own, but you can help this person? Oh, the Japanese the Asian Americans were interned during World War II. Let's give them $165,000 each, even though
they dropped some bombs on us first.
And even though that grandchild was an intern, you're a descendant of him, so we'll give you the money.
Right. And Dr. Boyce Watkins said that he was having a conversation with Dr. Claude Anderson, and Dr. Claude Anderson told him that he had went to the Obama administration with a plan for reparations. And they were like, no, that's too black.
Show this nigga the door.
Pretty much. And so this is the black administration who are like, well, you know.
We're always last.
But then I'm going to go caping for everybody else. Everybody else is going to get a piece of the pie, but black people are going to continue to struggle. And, some of it is our fault because we do continuously give our money away to people. 97% of our income earned yearly to everybody else. So that is the bleeding we have to stop.
I think one of the reasons is you have these pimp pastors that are running around here.
Oh, shit.
Leading a lot of these people.
If the lightning strikes, I hope it strikes down on that side. No,
it's not going to strike because you just said, be careful of false prophets.
You sure he said that?
He sure did.
Because I'll never see Joel Osteen with no Bible. So if he didn't see it, then it's probably not true.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. But But in our community, above all other communities, we are the economic engine that drives this country where it is.
Absolutely.
So these pimp pastors know that. I'm not mad at your hustle as a pimp pastor. I mean, I wish I can get in on that. But here you are. This shows you how juvenile and childish we are in our mind as a people. Mm-hmm. There is something wrong when you are a member of a church and your pastor is rolling around in Rolls Royce cars and this prosperity message, and you could barely keep your lights on, or you're on the system.
Did we talk about this last week with Tyler Perry giving?
No, that came out.
Tyler Perry giving Joel Osteen $250,000 because Brother Joel, I know
he's
Brother Joel,
guy.
He's all right, and the media is misrepresenting him, so I'm giving him $250,000 to continue his efforts. What efforts?
Right.
What efforts was he continuing?
How dare your lying eyes talk about Joel like that?
But my brother made a good point. My younger brother, he made Jeremiah. Yeah, Jeremiah is very awake, very quiet, well, soft-spoken. But he's the type of person that doesn't say much, but when he does,
I would hate to see Jeremiah get mad. He looked like he could whip some ass.
Yeah,
that's a big deal.
Yeah, he probably could. I've never seen him get that mad though. But he says a lot of times, those people, those being your Tyler Perry and Joel Osteens and all them, they're like in these secret societies, which we know. And so they're working together. Joel probably said, look, brother, I need you to do me a favor.
But here's a brother that was living in his car and cropping to the... But then again, it makes sense now that you say that because he dogs the black people out so badly in his movie.
Okay, but... who put Tyler Perry where he's at?
Black folks.
You think white folks is going to go see a big black man running around in a dress all day long? We made that shit popular.
And you got to think about that. They won't even let Tyler Perry into Hollywood. His movies are made in Georgia. He isn't...
Well, he's the one. He's the first black man to own the first black studio. However, he turns out coon stuff.
Exactly.
It's always some coonery.
Exactly.
I think...
I don't even consider it a studio, but go ahead.
Madea Halloween Part 2 was getting ready to come out.
Right, ready to come out. But that's not true. Because I was the first to do it. Because I had this studio idea a long time ago.
There you go. I'm a witness. But so I think they use Tyler Perry simply because they know that Tyler Perry has the pulse on the black community.
On the black weave community. Women community.
Well, there's a lot of dudes who listen to Tyler and movies and stuff too. So it's like if Tyler says it, if Brother Joel is all right, well, Tyler says it because Madea, Tyler, I don't know, I said this on my show, I don't know who's the real person, Tyler or Madea.
Right.
If he says it, then he must be all right. It's like, how dare you come to us and tell us to agree with what Joel Osteen did? I don't know how many black people go to his church, but I'm sure it's quite a few.
Now, wait. Since we're talking about your boy Madea.
Madea?
Tyler Perry. Why aren't black women upset and protesting his stereotypical depiction of a black woman?
Well, in all fairness, his depiction of black men ain't that great either.
Right, but I'm just talking about that's main character. That to me, that should be something that they should be shutting him down.
Well, I agree. And to be honest, too, just like you say with Tommy, and I do concede some of his points that we do know black women like that.
Yes.
But we do know black women that act like Madea, too.
Yes.
I don't know too many grandmas who are toting guns, all that other stuff.
You need to come with me down to Louisiana.
Oh, okay. See, well, there you go. But no, I definitely agree. Tyler has made money off of demeaning black people, and especially black men. Mm-hmm. Tyler has... There is rarely a good guy in any of his movies. They're either rapists,
the lowest down,
the HIV, AIDS, you name it, dropping kids out of windows.
Right, we're like the lowest denominator, of man.
So round up this session,
and the sisters are like, woo! Yes, Tyler. Yes.
I have seen some Tyler Perry movies. I don't.
I stopped watching.
Yeah, same here. Once you know better, you do better. You stop watching. It's as Spike Lee said, is malt liquor for black people. That's what Tyler Perry produces. And so, just to end off this segment, should black people jump on the bandwagon of the whole DACA thing? No, I don't think we should. We should be sympathetic and stand by like they do with us. But we should continue focusing on building up or rebuilding our community. Not to say we don't care, because we do, but we don't care enough to stop what we're doing as we always do to go help everybody.
What we need to do, right? Absolutely. So, but we got to talk about Steve Harvey in the next segment.
Oh my goodness!
And Steve is cooning to try to get back into the hen house.
A lot of them are.
So we're going to talk about that in the second hour. But I'm glad you brought that topic up. But we're not finished with that topic as well, because you got other people that we can point out and we're going to talk about. Also, Check out D on Sundays. You were going to be gone this week. Are you going to do the show in Houston?
No.
You're going to be out. How long will you be gone? About a couple weeks?
I'll be gone a little under a week.
Under a week.
Okay.
So Dee's going to go be with her man.
That's right.
Are you going to the football games on Sunday?
Hell no, I'm boycotting.
Oh, she's still boycotting, but her man is going.
He think he's going.
What an oxymoron.
Hey.
Al, look, you got season tickets. You better go, goddamn.
I shall not be swayed. I told him you can call me a sneech because I'm not moving.
I heard that. So, up in the skin, I'm in Donovan, and it's really D, K, and Donovan, and we'll see you guys in the next segment. You guys, stand by.